Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are working our way through Star Trek The Next Generation. This is going to be Season 1, Episode 3. It's called Code of Honor. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. And could this possibly live up to Episode 2?
A masterpiece of an episode.
A masterpiece indeed. What's funny, I'm pretty sure I remember reading at some point that a lot of the Season 1 episodes, and maybe Season 2, but definitely Season 1, were actually old scripts that were, around for the original series that were reworked.
Recycled, yeah.
For the new show. And I think this one definitely feels like that.
Yeah.
Cause
I can see it.
Oh, we're encountering our planet. We have to, because they have to get like it's like a flower or plant that this medicine comes from. That only grows on this planet. There's a disease going around. They need to get the cure. And they come to this planet where we have a very Earth-like culture. So it's very, very similar to Earth. They
It
all
was
speak
weird
English.
because you knew that was coming before you even met them and they went down to the planet or anything like that. Picard says, "Oh, yeah, they're very similar development to Earth, actually." And it's like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a warning sign in terms of just what to expect from the episode. I don't know why the show so far seems to be obsessed with Tasha Yar's love life or the oddities that lie within that realm of storytelling. But
I have no idea.
the leader of this group, Lutan, comes aboard the Enterprise and is immediately infatuated with Yar because she steps in and tackles one of his bodyguards, because the bodyguard sort of moves too quickly with the sample of the thing to Picard.
Yeah.
He comes in really quickly with this box, and she's like, no, it has to be vetted first, and he tries to pass through her, and she just flips him. And even before that, they're like, wait, a woman is your security officer? They get really flabbergasted at that. And from then on, he is infatuated with her, and he wants her to show him the what do we call it? The holodeck. Show off the holodeck. She agrees and shows off the training program where she beats up an avatar dude. And then his second in command kind of gets his ass kicked by it very quickly.
Yeah.
And the whole thing builds up to him. He's like, "Oh, but you've been very hospitable, Captain. We will give you the cure and yada yada yada." But then as he's beaming out, just grabs Tasha and kidnaps her.
I love how the reaction. Everyone just stands there and goes, "What just happened?"
And then he's like, "All right, red alert, everyone! Red alert! Someone's been kidnapped." And then the episode becomes about trying to understand their culture and what they would consider like polite and honourable. How can they get her back? But also get the medicine, because they can't just duplicate the one they have. They make a point of saying, no, we can't just
for some reason
copy it. We have to actually get the original source. And then there's like a fight to the death because Lutan's wife isn't happy.
Yeah.
And challenges Tasha to a trial by combat in a jungle gym with a glove that has poison spikes on it.
I mean, that bit sounds fun.
Well, I laughed though during the fight. At one point, the wife, what was her name, Yarina, her glove comes flying off, and a guy in the crowd catches it of her people, and I actually jokingly sort of almost out loud said, "Oh well, he's dead then," because they make a point of saying that these spikes are so poisonous. And I thought they weren't going to do that. But then, to be fair, he hands the glove back to someone to give her...
looks down and it's like, oh shit.
And then he just immediately dies. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. You did it.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't fault that.
Can't fault that. And it's all about finding a loophole. Tasha technically wins and kills the other person, but they immediately beam her down, or up to the ship, where, Beverly Crusher cures her and brings her back. Very quickly resuscitates her.
It's like, well, she was dead. What do you want?
And it's all about this comeuppance for Lotan, because the way their system works is that the men don't have any wealth. All the women have all the wealth and own all of the land. But when they pick a husband, that husband becomes the powerful one with all the honor and prestige,
Become
if you will.
in charge of distributing it all,
Yeah.
etc.
So basically, he was a bit of a villain in the sense that he was like, well, if Tasha wins, then because I was the husband of the other woman, I get all of her wealth. It get passed on to me.
Yeah.
So by bringing her back, they've technically also satisfied till death do his part in their culture. So she then makes the other guy who cared about the fact that she might get hurt in the fight. She makes him her husband, and
Her
then
first husband.
her first husband, because they have like seconds, which is like the shitty like
Yeah.
rank, and he becomes that because she's like, hey Tasha, do you want him? Because she won the fight, so she's got a right to pick him, and he's like, no, I'm good. Although one of the weird points in this episode though is that out of nowhere halfway through, Troy's like, hey, she uses her empath abilities to trick Tasha into admitting that she is actually attracted to Lotan, but knows that it's not proper. So even at the end, she's like, well, he is very attractive, but it would be complicated. And I'm like, that's it? In fact, I actually laugh because when Troy asks Tasha, I think it's that scene, Data says, asks her if do you love him, or do you return these feelings, and he actually says it completely just matter of fact, like there's no implication in what he says. But I just started laughing because I heard it as, yeah, but we had something, Tasha. What we had was special. Well, do you love this man you've just met? How dare you?
Yeah, that was the same.
So, yeah, the episode's bad. What do you want?
Oh, it's atrocious.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's kind of uncomfortably, just vaguely racist the entire time.
I wouldn't even go as far as to say vaguely.
I'm being kind.
Yeah, I mean, so all of the race, they're all black.
Yeah.
And they keep going how they're this inferior race, this inferior species. Like they keep telling us that they're not developed.
Yeah, primitive. I don't think they used the word inferior, but yeah.
I think at one point they did.
I didn't notice that, but I'll take your word for it. But they say primitive, they say, oh yes, we went through this period, on Earth, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The costumes, everything about the set design and the way that it all feels just a little bit like I don't think there's like overt racism in the sense that I don't think they're doing anything specific, but it has that general like 90s TV thing or 80s TV thing in this case where they're like, because at one point they even compare them to Native Americans, so I'm like, okay, right, so I guess you're killing two birds with one stone with that comment.
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional. Don't get me wrong.
It has that thing where I don't know why TV in the 80s and 90s was obsessed with doing these episodes where, and obviously this is a made up culture, but like any episode of like the X-Files or any episode of even Tales from the Crypt that me and Tim have been doing, well they want to like use a culture as like a gateway into like a thing, like on Tales from the Crypt it might be like like this tribe has voodoo magic, so that's the plot of the episode. Every single episode like that sucks because every single episode feels insensitive, and every single episode is about they're mysterious because there are other people and they have these things going on, and every single time it just feels forced. It feels it's not pretty.
It's not. I'm not gonna lie. This episode is down there with some of the worst episodes of original series for me.
Oh, I can't argue with that. It's fine. I'll give you one moment I loved, like genuinely loved.
Okay.
So Beverly comes up to the bridge to talk to Picard, and Wesley's still sort of on the lift, just at the side. They're just sort of like spying on the bridge, but not coming in. And she's there to talk to him about the disease and whatever, and we need the medicine, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the scene, she's like, oh, we need to talk about my son Wesley. And Picard's reaction to that is like, oh, yes, Wesley, your son, yes. He kind of... And I laughed a lot at it because he played it like a kid who doesn't want to talk about the fact that he's in trouble. Like he sort of dips his head and kind of mumbles to himself, "Oh yes, your son Wesley." I guess.
Yeah,
yes.
I suppose so.
I suppose we should talk about him. And then I don't even. This is the funny thing about this. I don't even know what she's arguing here because she's just kind of like, "Hey, he's very knowledgeable about the ship and he could be very useful," and it convinces Picard to let him be on the bridge and kind of like just watch Geordi do his job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but what was our argument for? Like, I mean, if kids aren't allowed on the bridge, it doesn't matter how good they are. Like, he can grow up and get a chance later. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Just wait.
But no, he lets him on the bridge reluctantly. Um, but then when he comes back on the ship at the end, because Riker's let him like man one of the stations, well, because I guess his argument is that Picard let him do it earlier, so I'll let him do it now. But he'll be gone by the time Picard gets back, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But as he actually points out, he forgot that he'd put him there. So Picard just kind of awkwardly goes, "Oh, I guess good job. You'll have a chance again, young man. Piss off, piss off,
Basically.
Crusher."
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Riker.
We almost saw him sit down.
Yeah.
And I say almost. We technically did see him sit down, but it cut from the wide shot to like a medium shot, so you only saw the top half of his body sit down. You never saw what he did with his legs. Which, as I understand it, the key thing to notice when he's doing his weird sitting down thing is the legs. Yeah. So we didn't really get to see it. So
I thought we were getting it.
It was closer than we've ever been. So
they're teasing us with it.
Yeah, they're teasing it. It's almost like they know we're waiting for it somehow.
It is, isn't it?
It's that thing, like, you know how Rob Liefeld never draws feet because he knows he can't. I almost wonder if they were purposely avoided, like they saw him sit down when they were shooting the pilot and they went, "Oh, we can't show that. That's weird." So
yeah, I feel like they're editing around it, and then presumably at some point they just go, "Screw it."
Once he's got the beard, like, the beard distracts from it. It's fine. Everyone's just so fixated with the manly bushy beard. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, the main plot is the main plot's really bad. I have like nothing really positive to say about it. There's a couple of like so bad they're funny moments.
Yeah, but coming off the last episode.
Oh yeah, it was nowhere near as entertaining as that. It was a lot duller.
Yeah.
I will say I'm thankful these episodes are 5 minutes shorter than the original series, just so that when it's a bad one, it's like 5 minutes less.
5 minutes less, yeah.
It goes just a little bit quicker, which is nice. I think the purpose of this episode overall, though, is more to just remind everyone, if you've not seen the original show, what the Prime Directive is, because that comes up a couple of times.
Yeah, it does.
And just the temptation to, how easy would this be if we didn't have to adhere to that?
Yeah. I think the other post for me as well is just to establish the pattern of episodes. Again, if you didn't watch the original series, it's like, okay, we had the godlike entity in the first one. Now here's the other culture stuff, or Earth-like culture stuff. And I felt it's like, here are the baseline of what Star Trek is.
Yeah, I thought they were going to like win by using the holodeck to trick them at some point, because they set it up. I mean, obviously we know it's already there, but they specifically set it up and reminded us of it at the start of this episode and had these characters interact with it.
Because it wasn't mentioned last episode.
Yeah, because he even commented that, there's no way you've made a person without a soul, and she has to explain to him that it's not real. And they even comment, well, I guess you can't actually feel physical force from this, and then it kicks the guy's ass, so it's kind of like, you can, it can hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do something with it this episode, but they never did. So it's whatever.
Yeah, I think just a reminder that it exists. Like I said, this is episode 3. We were introduced to it in 1. It was absent in 2. So it's like, oh hey, this is a thing. We want to just get it in your brain.
Actually, do you know my weirdest complaint about this episode, and possibly going forward with the show is whenever they and this is a Tasha thing specifically in this episode. She does it twice. Is she wears something extra with her outfit that makes it feel really weird. Like she puts on the the karate kind of coat, if you call it that, when she's doing the training. And I was like, what was the purpose of that? You can just fight in your jumpsuit, because you're wearing that underneath anyway. And then later on, when she's going to trial by combat in the jungle gym, and I say jungle gym because it's like this series of bars and whatever that's fighting around, she puts on like a headband, again, like martial artist headband around her head. And I thought, you're wearing your Starfleet uniform with a headband. It just looked weird. It was like, this looks stupid. Stop it.
The headband I can excuse. That's a different thing entirely.
If she had long hair, sure. I get the purpose of it.
It's to stop sweat running into her eyes. What do you want?
Okay, what's the purpose of the coat then?
No, I can't defend the coat.
Or the jacket, bro. I should say coat.
Yeah.
It's not a coat. But
robe.
Yeah, it's more of a robe. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't defend that.
Yeah.
That one's stupid.
Yeah.
But the headband, I don't really. I mean, it looks weird, but that's just because you're not used to it. But I don't have a problem with it functionally, aesthetically, maybe.
Aesthetically, it's because I don't know. It reminds me of someone who just picks up a prop and tries it, because for a joke, even though
Yeah,
they're
okay.
wearing otherwise normal clothes. You know, that's what it feels like. Even though obviously to us the Starfleet uniform's pretty unique, but
Yeah, pretty
it's normal
stupid.
in the show.
Yeah. Those uniforms still bother me. It's the lycra look to them.
Yeah, I think I'm just kind of. I guess I'm used to them. Even though
I,
I've not
I,
really
I,
cared them that much, I feel like I've seen enough images of them in the suit. I think that gif of Picard doing the face palm has probably conditioned me to what this suit
do you
looks
want
like.
no, no, do you know what it is? It's in motion when they're walking. It's around the legs I feel like it's bothering me the most.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll tell you what I do like. I like the emblem. It's better than the original series because the original series was just this little stitched on bit of
Yeah,
fabric. Here it's like a proper embossed,
yeah, yeah. No, no,
3D kind of
I'll give you that.
badge. Yeah, it looks better.
I'm sure I will get used to it. Like I said, the top half. I've seen enough pictures. I've seen the gifs. I'm used to that. I guess it's the bottom half that you typically don't see unless you're just watching it.
Yeah,
That is feels weird to me. But I'll get there.
yeah, maybe they'll. Uh, I know I've seen like comedians do jokes about the fact that none of them have pockets, and it's like, how do you do a job without pockets?
It does seem frustrating.
You need devices. You need, if nothing else, like a pen, maybe occasionally.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is the Enterprise. They got all these touchscreens and fancy shit. Maybe they don't need.
Where do they carry the phasers? Do they have a belt?
They just they take them out from the ship and carry them the whole time when they need them.
That seems really.
Until we see someone whip them out halfway through a mission and they didn't have them before. That is my story. I'm sticking to it.
Feels like a design oversight in your uniforms, but fine. Sure, why not?
Well, the war with the Klingons is long done, so I mean, I guess they figure, there'll be no danger. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, we'll just go out to completely unexplored space and see what's out there, but definitely nothing will go wrong.
Yeah, nothing will go wrong. It's fine. It's fine. So no. Episode 3, bit of a bust. Not that episode 2 was good, but episode 2 was entertaining. So
It was.
So I can't fault it. Whereas this only had a couple of good moments. The one little subplot we've not mentioned yet is Data trying to learn how to do jokes.
Yeah.
As I say, do jokes, tell jokes, understand jokes.
This was it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. He just tells a joke so matter of fact, and then he's like, "Okay, why is that funny?" And he's like, "Well, you didn't really tell it properly. Also, things are just funny. You can't really explain funny. It just is."
Yeah.
So he doesn't understand. But I did like how it came back though when the captain gives an order, and he's kind of like, "Was that a joke, sir?" And Riker's, "No, that was an order." Actually, no. Speaking of funny moments with Data, he calls French. What was it? A little known Earth language or inconsequential Earth language.
And Picard looks offended.
Yeah, and Riker's like, "You better drop this, Data." And I'm like, "Yeah, his name's Jean-Luc Picard. Maybe
Yeah.
drop the French hate."
Yeah. I mean, Dave's right. It is a stupid language.
Yeah, but he said it was like because the way he was describing it, I thought it was going to say it was like Latin. Like how obscure it was.
I got the impression that it was just like it's pointless. Serves no purpose. Why bother with French?
See, I'm going to bring this up now because you can't help but
I can't.
taking digs for some reason.
But I do it like at all languages, so it's fair.
Sure. But yeah, so yeah, this thing is fine. Obviously, this was mostly a scene to just give Data and Geordi like something to do. I mean, hell, Worf wasn't even in this episode. I don't know if he was.
No, he's not.
He read the script, thought it was offensive, and said, "You know what? No, I'm sitting this
I'm
one
out
out."
of this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I joke. I don't know why, but hey, I mean that happened in the original series a lot. I mean, hell, Chekhov and Sulu were rarely ever in an episode together.
Yeah. Do you know what the thing is? You said, "Oh, you read jokingly there." You said, "I read the script." I can't imagine that it came off as racist in the script until you're there
sure.
and it's all cast.
I can see what you're saying.
I imagine it just doesn't come across like that in the script.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, so not a great episode by any stretch of the imagination. Here's hoping episode 4. And we knew this was going to be a stinker because we looked at the average rate in IMDb, and it, even though it wasn't that high before, it did nosedive a bit for this
It
episode.
did. Is the next one back up a touch?
It's back up into the 60s, so
I mean, I'll have to do.
yeah, it'll do. It'll do for now. It's for season 1.
Yeah.
So that's episode 3. So by all means, let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments. If you've seen it, like and subscribe, all that stuff. If you want to support the channel, you can of course do that by liking and subscribing. Those things really help on YouTube with getting the video out there to more people. If you want to support us even more so than that, go to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV. You can support us there financially for as little as $1 per month. And you get these Star Trek discussions a week early, amongst other things. So go have a look and you can see what's on offer. But otherwise, that is us. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. But thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching Star Trek and sci-fi TV shows and other things of, wonderment in nature. And hopefully better episodes than this one. And to everyone but Connor, live long and prosper.